Okay guys, this is it. This is probably the last time you will have to see my face. We've come to the end of the semester. I'm going to hope that nothing has changed and that I'm moving forward with the plans that I had set out at the beginning of the semester. Before I go on, let me say this. I probably haven't seen any of you for 7-8 weeks. If you're still here, if you're seeing this, I want to say I'm really proud of you guys. I'm assuming that I'm safe in saying that it hasn't been easy these last 6 weeks. None of us planned to go down this journey the way it turned out, but if you're about to take this final exam, then you've worked hard, so congratulate yourselves. I'm very proud of all of you. Okay, so I'm making this recording for the day on which you will turn in essay number 5. Okay. Last reminder, if I don't have it, you need to get that to me right now. If I don't get it during the class period, it will be considered late. If I don't get it by midnight, you're not giving it to me at all. You need to get at least a C- on this assignment to pass the class. So don't mess around. Get this paper in. We've been working on it for weeks. You should be ready to go. Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about how the next class will go. Okay. This is the final exam. This is the end of the year test. Listen carefully because the instructions are important. On the day of your final, right? So for my Monday, Wednesday class, that is the 6th, Wednesday the 6th. For my Tuesday, Thursday class, that is the 5th, Tuesday the 5th, right? What you will need to do is log on to our Blackboard page the minute class begins, okay? At the start of class, you will be presented with the writing prompt. Okay, this will look very similar to the midterm verification that you did for me. It will look similar to the thing I had you do on the second day of class. You'll have 2, maybe 3 writing prompts. You'll be asked to write a multi-paragraph essay on one of those topics. Normally, the way this happens is that you're given 50 minutes, 50, to write a multi-paragraph essay on one of those topics. All right? I'm going to set the timer on this test for an hour, just to give us a 10-minute wiggle room for any technical problems, anything of that nature. All right? But if class begins at 10:30, the prompt will begin at 10:30, you must email me your paper by 11:30. Right? If class begins at 1:30, the prompt will appear at 1:30. You must email me the paper by 2:30. Okay? This is very important. You have exactly 60 minutes. I will not be able to give you a timer. I will not be in class with you, obviously, so you need to set a timer on your phone or something. Make sure you cut yourself off with plenty of time to send me that draft so that it may be assessed. If I do not receive it in the proper time frame, I may not accept it. Okay? So don't give yourself 2 hours and make it perfect. You have to get it to me within 60 minutes of when class begins. If you have any questions on that, please email me right away, because come 11:30 in my Tuesday, Thursday class, or 2:30 on my Monday, Wednesday class, I'm taking everything I have, I'm assessing it, and I'm turning in final grades. Okay, this is a timed test. You must conform to those expectations. Okay. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about the test. You'll have 2, maybe 3 choices of what you want to write about. They will all be argumentative in nature. There'll be a slight little paragraph kind of explaining the issue, and then a question. Okay. Do you think Bill should grow a mustache? Okay. Don't spend a lot of time hemming and hawing over which you want to go with. Okay. Read through the 2 or 3. Ask yourself which one can you BS your way through quickly, and go with it. Okay. In a test like this, time management is very important. You don't have 15 minutes to sacrifice weighing your pros and cons and thinking. Okay. So read the prompts, Figure out which one you think you can BS through the most and go with it. All right, let me back up a little bit. Here's what you want to do between the time you're seeing this video and you take the test. Really, there's not a whole lot you can do to prepare. This test assesses all the things we've been doing all semester: thesis statements, topic sentences, support, introduction strategies, conclusion strategies. So there's not a lot of studying per se that you have to do. Right? Look over your old rubrics, see where you've been losing points, see if you can find ways to maybe make up those points. I'm going to use the same rubric to assess this final as I have all the essays that you've turned in and gotten back. Okay, so figure out what your weaknesses are, maybe see if you can bolster some of those up. Sentence structure, subject-verb agreement errors, those are considered major errors. Those will count. Okay, so if you've been struggling with fragments all semester, this is it. This is your last chance. Figure it out before this final exam. Okay. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot really to study. By now you should know what a thesis is, where it belongs. You should know what topic sentences are, transitions, support, okay, those types of things. Okay. The morning of the test, I always tell students this. Actually, the day before the test, all right? I'd say about 24 hours before the test begins, cut yourself off completely from all human beings. I know for the last 6 weeks we've been doing social distancing, so maybe this won't be an issue. But if you've been dating somebody all semester, don't talk to them the day before the test, okay? I cannot help you if you send me an email 10 minutes before the exam, that's half the words are misspelled because your eyes are blurry, because you're crying, because Jake broke up with you and you're too heartbroken and you can't take the test. Don't get in a fight with your significant other right before the test, okay? Get yourself in a good frame of mind. This test is important. It determines whether you go on to 101. You need to get a C- or above on this exam, just like with this last paper, to succeed and go on to 101. So you want to be in the good frame of mind to do this. Do not go out partying the night before, okay? For all I know, they're going to lift the social ban the day before this test, okay? Don't go to the bars celebrating, okay? Get a good night's sleep, all right? Go to bed early, feel rested. Wake up, get yourself a breakfast, okay? Stretch out, do what you need to do, get in the right frame of mind, okay? And then remember, you have to log on right when class begins, because that's when the prompt will appear, and you have an hour to get it to me. Okay, so you're sitting down with the computer, you've got Word opened, or Google Docs, or some sort of word processing program. All right. You read through the prompt, you select which one works best for you, and you go, okay? Before you write your thesis, remember, you need an introduction strategy, okay? Broad to narrow thing, the opposite. Start with a question, start with a story. I don't care. Do not jump right into your thesis. The thesis should be only the last sentence of the introduction. I shouldn't know your position until the end of your introduction. The thesis should be very easy. It's going to state a question. Should Bill grow a mustache? Okay. Take those words, switch a couple around, and form your thesis. Bill should not grow a mustache because he would look stupid and his wife would not kiss him. Okay? So use the test to pass the test. You've heard me say this many times. Most of the words of your thesis are there on the page. Flip a couple around, add a forecasting statement. Do not announce your thesis. Okay? I said this at the beginning of the semester. People tend not to have a problem with this throughout the semester, and then in the final exam, everybody wants to begin. I'm going to sneeze, hold on. No editing on this one, guys. You get all the ugly warts along with everything else. Okay. Everybody wants suddenly at this last exam to announce their thesis. If you begin your thesis with I believe or I think, I'm going to take those words to mean, Bill, I love you so much that I want to fail this course and retake it with you next semester. Okay? Remember on the rubric, if you announce your thesis, you drop from a 4 to a 2 automatically. Okay? So please, do not announce your thesis. Don't use the words I think, I believe. This paper is about. In this paper, I'm going to tell you. My paper is about blah, 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 blah. Okay? Take the question, flip a couple words, make it your thesis, add a forecasting statement. Okay? Okay. That takes care of your introduction. Okay? You guys know about transitions. Okay? We did an exercise with complex blended transitions. See if you can earn a 4 there. With your topic sentences, you want to reiterate your thesis and support and introduce your first claim. Okay? I do not think Bill should grow a mustache because he would look stupid. Okay? In addition to Bill looking stupid, another reason I think Bill should not grow a mustache is because his wife would not kiss him. Okay? So reiterate the thesis, not growing a mustache, set up your point for that paragraph. Okay? So the question becomes, in a 50 to 60 minute time frame, what do you have to write? Okay? Ideally, in a perfect world, people could produce a 6-body paragraph essay, or a 6-paragraph essay. An intro, 3 body paragraphs, counter-argument, conclusion. Okay? That's the max. That's not required of everybody. That's like, I'm going to blow this test away, perfection. Okay? Minimum. Okay? You have to have an intro, 2 really good solid body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Okay? So, you want to be somewhere between that's the minimum and the maximum. Okay? So, if you're really going to blow things away, an intro, 3 body paragraphs, counter-argument, conclusion. That'd be great, but I'm not expecting that. The bare minimum, intro, 2 body paragraphs, good body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Okay? If you want to shoot for somewhere in the middle of there, 5, that's great. An intro, 3 body, conclusion, intro, 2 body, a counter-argument, a conclusion, that's fine. If you're going to try a counter-argument, make sure you understand how to do a counter-argument. Okay? You do it right. Don't just flip-flop suddenly. All right? A counter-argument is not required. It's impressive, but it's not required. Okay? So somewhere between 4 and 6 body paragraphs. Okay? Whichever attack you take, you have to get to a conclusion. Okay? Again, it's a timed test. It can be easy to kind of lose track of where you are and then suddenly run out of time. My recommendation is set an alarm 50 minutes. And when that goes off at 50, wherever you are, stop, drop down a few spaces, do the conclusion. Okay? If I'm reading your final and I get to the 3rd body paragraph and you're halfway through and suddenly you stop and then you go down and there's a conclusion, I understand what happened. You ran out of time. Okay? If I'm reading your final and I have an intro and 3 body paragraphs and then it gets sent to me, I don't know, I can't give you any credit at all for conclusion. Okay? So you have to do a conclusion no matter what. So set a timer. I'd say at 50 minutes, stop, drop down a few spaces, add your conclusion. Okay? Then if you want to go back and like finish that one sentence or whatever, if you want to put in parentheses, ran out of time, that's fine. Okay? But you need to show me that you have a conclusion. All right. Body paragraphs need to have some meat to them. Okay? So you can't have just 2, 3, 4 sentences. You've got to develop those paragraphs. You've got to support them the way we've been talking about all semester. Okay? So, this is the question I always ask. If the topic is, should Triton build a dome over campus to protect students from alien invasions, how many of you have a friend who's been abducted by Martians while walking to their geometry class? If you're raising your hand right now, you're going to pass this exam. If you're not, you need to learn to BS for this assignment. Okay? Make up a story. Make up a story that fits your topic sentence. Okay? If the topic is, should the cafeteria pass out condoms with every meal? Okay? Talk about your best friend who got pregnant in high school because she wasn't smart enough to use birth control. Okay? I don't know if you have a best friend who got pregnant in high school. I don't care if you have a best friend that got pregnant in high school. Okay? If it supports the topic sentence and it supports what you're saying, it's great. It's fine. I don't have time to check up on these things. Okay? So get some stories in there. This is a way to develop your paragraphs. All right? As long as they're realistic and they support the topic sentence, that's fine. okay? But you want to develop those paragraphs. Give your reasons to support whatever claim you're making, okay? So we don't want these skimpy paragraphs that only have 2 or 3 sentences. You want to kind of develop them, kind of give some reasons why you're asserting what you're asserting, okay? Grammar and spelling do count. I recommend leaving yourself a few minutes to go back and proofread, okay? Again, you don't have a whole lot of time, but you know, if you give yourself 3-4 minutes at the end, look back, you know, scan through it, make sure that you've weeded out any obvious errors. You want to do that. Okay? When you are done, the conclusion needs to have a conclusion strategy. Okay? So the last sentence should either be a prediction, a recommendation, or a question. Okay? Again, be very deliberate. Don't give me an excuse not to give you points. You need to earn, I think 16 points on the rubric, I think is a C-. So get those where you can. Now listen, if you have solid thesis, solid topic sentences and transitions, and an intro and a conclusion strategy, that's already 12 points. All right? So you can do not so great on the others and be fine. So get those key sentences in place, and you know, you should be okay. All right. That needs to be emailed to me an hour after class begins. I will not accept essays that are not emailed to me an hour after class begins. Okay, so don't mess around. Get them to me, and then you'll be in and you'll be done. All right. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to email me. Okay, this one's important. All right, we can't botch this up. So, leading up the next few days, if there's any concerns, if there's any questions, please shoot me an email. We'll work through them. We'll see what we need to do. Okay. All right. In terms of the class format, after that, for my Monday class, okay, your exam is on the 6th. That's the last Monday of the semester. Our meeting time for finals is 2 o'clock on Monday, May 11th. Okay, so at that time, maybe a little bit before, so probably what I'm going to do is I will assess those over the weekend, and Monday morning I will start emailing each of you individually and letting you know your final results for the course. Okay, how you did on the exam and what your final grade is. Okay, at 2 o'clock on Monday the 11th, that is our official finals meeting. I will be sitting in front of my computer, and I will be waiting for anybody to email me with any questions. Okay, so at 2 o'clock on Monday the 11th, if you have any questions about your grade, about placement, about what you should do next, that's considered kind of a virtual office hour. So I will be there to answer any questions about your final grade and help you, advise you, do anything I can to help you move on. Hopefully I'm advising you and sending you on to 101. Okay? All right. For my Tuesday, Thursday class, our final assessment is on the 5th. That's Tuesday. Okay? We have one other scheduled class session on the 7th, which is Thursday. Okay? So same thing. Starting that morning, I will email all of you not only the results of the test, but your final grade. Okay, so I'll add it all up. I'll show you all your grades, show you how I computed that, and what you got as a final grade. Okay. During our normal class session, same thing. I will be online. I can respond to any questions you might have. I'll work with you towards advising and letting you know what comes next. Okay. Our official finals meeting is 10 o'clock Thursday, May 14th. Okay. Same thing. If you need to talk to me for any reason, I will be sitting in front of the computer at that time with the sole purpose of answering any of your questions. Okay. By that time, I don't think you'll have any because we will have talked on the 7th, but if anything comes up, that's kind of a virtual office hour, so I can help with advising, you know, any questions you might have about moving on to 101, or if not moving on to 101, what you should do about retaking the course. Okay. I believe this is the last time I will need to address you. When you next log on for our class meeting, the final will be there. You have an hour, okay? Take the test, give yourself some time, send that to me within an hour of when class begins, and we will be done. And then all that will be left is for me to assess those things, get them back to you, give you your advising, and hopefully everybody's all set and ready to move on to 101. Again, guys, I'm real proud of you for sticking it out. I know it's been a different semester, a challenging semester. Even though we're not there yet, I suspect I can say that with confidence. But you know, if you're here, you've made me really proud. So let's just wrap this up, and we'll be done. Thanks everybody for everything this semester, and I hope to see you back on campus next semester. Thank you.